Hi, thanks so much for joining us. Welcome to today's webinar. Today we'll be talking about Penn State's new Master of Public Policy program. I'm Whitney Sheridan, Director of Communications. I'll be moderating today's forum along with our presenter, Chris Whitko. And Chris is the Associate Director of the School of Public Policy at Penn State. And before I turn things over to Chris, I want to let you know if you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the side panel and we'll respond to them during the Q&A or later today.
So what we're going to talk about today is just basically what the program is about, who should apply, the curriculum and the different specializations that we have, what you can do with a Master's of Public Policy in terms of a career, how it might affect your income, and then what the application process is. And again, at the end, we'll welcome your questions. Please do those at any time, and we'll answer them at the end. Okay, so some of you may not have a very good idea of what the Masters of Public Policy degree is in the first place. And the Masters of Public Policy is a professional degree that is designed to prepare people for careers in public policy. Who should apply for the MPP? Who is this a good degree for? It's good for anybody that wants to really make a difference in the policy realm. Okay, that could be beyond, in the public sector, in the nonprofit, in the private sector. It's not really geared toward any particular major. We take people from different majors, and in our first group of students coming in, we have people from a variety of different majors. So like I said, it's a professional degree program. That means it's a degree that's designed to get you a job for those seeking careers in the design, adoption, implementation, and evaluation of public policies. Okay, so we have a core curriculum which basically teaches you kind of the nuts and bolts of the policy process and also skills that you're going to need to analyze public policy. Couple of data analysis classes, policy analysis, program evaluation, and things like that. You're going to do a specialization. We have a number of specializations, social policy, which we call child and family policy, international public policy, and so on. We have several of them. An interesting thing about our program is you can also create your own specialization. So if there's something you're just particularly interested in, but maybe not that many people are, you're welcome to design your own specialization with courses from different units.
So Chris, who is this program really geared towards? Like what kind of undergraduate degree would you say is this suited for?
To be honest with you, it's not really geared toward any particular type of major or undergraduate program. People from the social sciences like it, but you could see somebody who was, say, an art history major who wants to get interested in arts policy. So there's really not anybody that it wouldn't be potentially a good option for. So think about that. The other thing is then you'll do an internship between year 1 and year 2, and then we do an applied capstone experience in year 2.
And what is that exactly?
Basically, you'll work with an organization in the community. It could be right here in our area or in Philly or DC or New York. And you're going to basically execute a project for them. So you'll have at least 2 opportunities to work with clients and to network with different people in terms of your internship and the capstone experience. And we're in the process of bringing on board a professor of practice who is going to help students to get the internships, get the capstone the capstone experience lined up. Okay, I just talked briefly about specializations, but here's the complete list: children and family policy, criminal justice, data science and data analytics, health policy, information technology, international policy, labor and employment relations. So there's a wide variety there, and you might be interested in one of those. But like I said, you can also, create your own specialization.
Now, Chris, about the curriculum, it really gives you a lot of the hard and soft skills that you need for the job market. This is really a practical degree program. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so it's a professional degree program. So it's designed to be practical. It's designed to put people out there into practice, to be practitioners in the public policy realm. So basically, in terms of hard skills, we do things like data analytics, policy analysis, project design, and things like that. In terms of the soft skills in your classes, you're going to be doing a lot of teamwork, problem solving, communication, doing presentations, working in groups. And so you develop some of those soft skills of teamwork, leadership, public speaking and public presenting, which is really important as well.
Wow. Well, wait, this sounds like a lot of math to me, which is a little bit scary for someone like me. I was a communications major.
Yeah. Well, I was a poli-sci major, and one reason I was a poli-sci major is because I didn't like math. As it turned out, I've been teaching research methods and stats stuff for years now, and now I love it. So you might find, Whitney, that you have a hidden passion for math and statistics. But in any event, if you don't have a strong background in math or stats or anything like that,
Right.
Not to worry, because we are assuming that people typically don't have that. And so we designed a two-course sequence that can kind of introduce you to things. With our first group of students coming in the fall, we're doing a data kind of and stats refresher in a couple of mornings of the week before classes start, so that people can kind of get up to speed a little bit too.
Okay.
So we're going to gently get you up to speed here.
Okay. Just a reminder, we do have that chat window open. If you want to ask questions, we'll have a Q&A at the end of our presentation.
Okay, so what can you do after we teach you these hard and soft skills? Well, there's a number of things you can do with a MPP degree. MPP grads work as budget analysts, government affairs professionals. We don't like to use that word lobbyists, which has a negative connotation. Consultants, data analysts, and many other positions. And you might work in the public sector, national, state, and local government. You could work for a think tank. You could work for a consulting firm, nonprofit organizations. Yeah, lobbying firms. We said it. Additional private sector organizations that work with government, and really across all sorts of policy areas: education, healthcare, security, intelligence, poverty alleviation, and so on.
So it's really about finding something that you're passionate about.
Yeah, I mean, the best thing is when you can find something you're passionate about, but also something that can get you a job. And so you could have something you're passionate about. It could be poverty, for instance, and we can actually, give you the skills that you need to go out there and actually be effective in fighting poverty and trying to alleviate poverty.
Now, I saw that there was a question in the chat window, and we're going to get to those questions in just a minute. Just a moment.
Yeah, keep those questions coming in. We'll be very happy to answer them.
Okay.
So jobs are about making money, right? Money isn't everything, but you do need it. So the Masters of Public Policy degree program can help you to make more money than you would probably make if you just have a bachelor's degree on average. So according to the Census Bureau, the Masters in Public Policy typical graduates earned on average about $19,000 more per year than their counterparts with just bachelor's degrees. Some surveys suggest that MPP grads can expect about a 30% increase in their salary, and Pay Scale reports that grads make between $40,000 to $125,000, and Indeed.com reports a mean salary of $70,000. So there's, of course, a broad range of what you might end up making, right? If you go work for a small nonprofit, you're not going to be making six figures. If you go work for a consulting firm, you can very well be making six figures. So we'll give you the skills that can lead you to a variety of jobs in different sectors.
And the great thing, Chris, about this program, as you said before, we're hiring a position that's going to help with career placement and the internship portion and the capstone project. All of this is going to help students with that job placement process. So
yeah, so I mean, we don't know. This is a new program, and it's not entirely sure how it's going to work. But I think typically in my experience in the past, what I saw happen is if people go and do an internship with an organization, and they do a great job, a lot of times that organization will end up hiring them.
Mhm.
Sometimes same thing with the capstone project. So these are just good ways to, and even if that organization doesn't end up hiring you, it gives you practical applied skills and possibly letters of recommendation that do help you to get jobs.
But we have a little bit more on the earnings here from
yeah,
our
more-
accreditation
Yeah,
program.
so NASPA is the entity that accredits public affairs programs, and you can look at the bar charts. But basically, if you look at the data for the most recent year, which is 2018, that kind of gives you the distribution of salaries. So a good portion of graduates, about a third, more than a third actually, make above, what is that? 75,000. And this is people 3 years out. So of course, over time, you'll be making more than that. And so it's, you won't necessarily get rich with an MPP degree, though some people certainly do. But you can make a really solid living, and pretty quickly too. 3 years out, that's a pretty good salary.
But I would say making a pretty good salary and then also doing something that you love and that you're making an impact doing is like,
if you just want to
pretty
make a lot of
powerful
money,
thing.
I mean, go work on Wall Street. If you want to have a good income and a good job and then also make a difference in the world around you, come get your MPP degree.
right.
So, if you wanted to apply for this fall, you'd have to pretty much do so immediately. The clock is ticking. We do have a few slots left if anybody's interested in doing that. The best thing to do, honestly, is just go to our website, look for the tab that says apply, or how to apply. Does it say?
It says how to apply.
Yeah, how to apply. Click on that and it'll kind of walk you through
And
it.
our website is publicpolicy.psu.edu.
Yeah, so you need a BA degree, or you have to be graduating very soon. Requirements: about a 3.0 GPA, usually 2 letters of recommendation, a personal statement, and we don't require the GRE because we found in our past experience with other programs that it's not a great predictor of how people do, and also there's a lot of research showing that it's really kind of biased against different groups. So we are not requiring the GRE at this point.
And if you're still an undergrad, there are other options of ways that you can start.
Yeah. So
program
if you're an
early.
undergrad, but you're not graduating until, say, next year, fall 2020 or something like that, or spring, even after that, if you're a senior, you can start to take classes. You can get in touch with us about how to do that your senior year. There's also a couple of integrated graduate programs here on campus that are already approved, one with criminology BS degree and one with the social BS degree. We have kind of others in the works, but those two are ready to go. So if you happen to be a crim or a social student, you could also get in touch and we could give you more information about them. But, the key point here is if you do want to apply, you really need to get moving on that pretty much immediately. If you want to apply for the fall, that is. All right, so why would you come to Penn State? I think a cool thing about our program is that you can design your own specialization or choose from one of ours. But if you're interested in something a little bit different and unique, you can create your own specialization. We're intentionally keeping the program small in terms of the number of students, so we can give people a lot of attention from faculty and staff, get people really good jobs for our first group of students, because you're going to be our advertisements. So that's really important to us. And we just want you to be having a good job as well. Penn State is a leader in data analytics and things like that. The head of data science at Google is a Penn State PhD from political science, a department we work closely with. Penn State has one of the largest and most loyal alumni networks of any university in the world. Our director, Lillard Richardson, reached out to the Penn State alums in Washington, D.C., and within minutes, literally, we had a meeting set up with them. They're super excited to get on board, help us out, mentor our students, and things like that. If you've ever been to Happy Valley, they call it Happy Valley for a reason. It's a good place to spend a couple of years, and I think it's fair to say we have a better football team than most other MPP program universities. So those are all some good reasons to come here to Penn State.
Okay. So now we know that there were some questions in the chat. Oh, good. We have some great questions. So Summer says, if you don't have the GPA requirement, can you still apply?
Yeah, so we look at your entire application. There's a lot of reasons why people might not have exactly a 3.0 GPA, and some of those are really good reasons. So you would want to, if you do have less than a 3.0, you just want to explain that in your personal statement, what was going on there,
Okay.
and why you think you're still a good candidate for the MPP program.
And Lauren says, are there any scholarships available?
There's some research funding available for people who would be willing to do some work doing research for professors, yes.
Okay. And then Oliver says that he's doing a double major in SOTA and CS, but he's more interested in doing data science. How much will this major deal with data science, data analytics?
Yeah, well, if you were to do the data analytics specialization, then you would take a lot of courses in data analytics. In addition to, we have two kind of data analysis stats intro courses. Policy analysis is heavily quantitative, and then if you did your specialization, you'd be taking at least 4 additional courses in the data science realm. Depending on people's particular situations and what classes you've taken as an undergrad, it might be even possible to do kind of more advanced data analytics classes even in the first year.
Okay. And Lauren asked another question. Lauren asked, is it possible to specialize in more than one area? And I know that our advising recruitment manager gets this kind of question a lot.
Yeah, it's not really like in terms of you couldn't do 2 of our existing specializations, for instance. But what you could do is create your own specialization and do 2 classes in each. And as long as that was approved by our advisors, you could do it. So.
Yeah, and that's the great thing about this program is that you tailor this to what you want to eventually do with your career. So it's really a neat kind of program.
Yeah, and we're pretty flexible in terms of the specialization. So if there's 2 things that you're really interested in, I'm sure it would be possible to figure out a way to make that work.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Oh, Andrew says, he's a rising junior. Will the political science IUG likely be available for 2021 academic year? Great question.
For the BA degree, if you're a BA student, yes, I think it probably will be, though. Don't quote me on that. I think it'll probably be approved in around November of this year, which means you could apply to it in spring of 2020 and then start to do the classes in fall 2020. So I think it will be if you're a BA student. We won't have it for the BS degree in poli-sci, though.
Okay. And Alex said that they're finishing undergrad at PSU. Would this play against completing the grad studies at the same university, both in terms of post-grad careers and grad program admission?
No, I don't think so. I think it would really hurt you if you were going to a terrible university and you had multiple degrees from it. But Penn State's a very reputable university, so I don't think it would hurt you at all.
Good question, though. Very good question. I don't see any other questions coming in, but I want to encourage everybody to email us anytime at publicpolicy@psu.edu. And also follow us on social media. And again, we're always willing. We are very responsive when it comes to emails.
Yeah, if you have any like particular questions that are just special to your situation, get in touch with me or get in touch with Stephen Mazalowski. You can find our email addresses on the website, and we can get you squared away pretty quickly. We're very responsive. We'll get back to you within a day, easily.
Right. And Stephen will be sending out a thank you email to everybody who's stayed with us during the webinar, and we'll also send an edited version of the webinar. I apologize for the technical difficulties in the beginning. You really only missed an overview of what we were going to be talking about.
Yeah.
But thank you so much to everybody.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in.
We appreciate it. Yeah. And again, really encourage you to reach out to Chris here and Stephen with any additional questions. And we hope to see you as a future student in the MPP program.
Yes. Thank you.
So thank you so much.